In this video, we're going to create an envelope that matches an invitation, and we're going to use two merge boxes and rotate a Mr. and Mrs. salutation at 90 degrees relative to the other part of the address. We're going to open up our address list and make certain that it's laid out correctly. We want to make certain that Mr. and Mrs. are in separate salutation lines, that is Title 1 and Title 2. We're going to pick up the guest name from first name 1 and last name 1. As we scroll through our list, we're going to make certain that Title 1 and Title 2 have the proper names in it, such as Mr. and we're going to use the ampersand instead of and. We're also going to make certain that the first name 1 and last name 1 has the guest name correctly, because we're going to put together those data fields to make our addresses. Closing Address Manager, we're going to create a new envelope, link to an address list, and we're going to create a format other than standard. In this format, we're going to use the first name 1, last name 1, and then the address lines, and move up city, state, and zip, and deselect everything else that we don't need. And then we'll give it a new name, such as name and addresses. We're going to assign fonts by selecting our attributes, and we'll choose a font. We'll use Avant-Garde, and we'll start with size 22 as the base, and I'm going to select the first line, make the first line slightly larger, and also make it bold. I want to save my attribute changes. I'm going to bring in the text box. I also want to left justify everything on this so that I know where my Mr. and Mrs. lines start out. Next thing I'm going to do is put a color square behind it, and then I'm going to change my font colors. So I'm going to add the color square now. Of course, it's a layer that sits on top of the address box, so I want to push it underneath it. I'm going to resize and reposition the box, leaving enough room on the left for where the Mr. and Mrs. is going to go. Making sure I have enough room, I'm going to select the address box and scroll through some names, making sure that my width is okay. There's one that isn't, so we know we need to change the size of the box. I also want to change the color of the box. So I'm going to select the box, change the color, and I'm also going to go back and change my font color. I'm going to go up to my formatting, choose all the attributes, and go into my color. Last thing I'm going to do is create a new merge box so I have in it only the salutation of Title 1, and on the second line Title 2, and I will deselect everything else. And I will save this new address format as Title 1 and 2. Now that we have our merge box in the upper left-hand corner of the card, we're going to resize it and reposition it. And then we're going to change its attributes for the font color, size, and position. Again, I'm going to use Avant-Garde. And I'm going to use size 22. And I'm actually going to make it white. It's going to disappear from screen for a moment because I'm going to make it white, but we'll move the text box. It'll be fine. And what I want to do is rotate this text box 90 degrees. And now that I see what it looks like, I think I want to change the title to be bolded and also aligned right so that the top of the name aligns with the period of Mr. or Mrs. When I save it, I realize it's disappeared. I just have to reposition to see what it looks like. And on this text box here, I want to go back and reformat because what I really want to do is my micro justification. I go into right-click Page Layout, selecting micro justification. Then I could take one of these names and scroll through the list and see how I look. And there you have it.